What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about lead generation. And so there's a million ways to find leads in real estate, but today we're going to be talking about my 5 favorite free ways to find leads. This will be super helpful for anybody getting started that was like me, had no money to spend on PPC campaigns or buying lists and all that good stuff. And so all these ways are totally free. Take a little bit of some sweat equity to find these opportunities, but they're all super effective. They all work. We've closed deals using all 5 of these, and you can get started right away, start generating leads. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have leads, you don't have a business. And so to get started, number 1 is tried and true, and that is driving for dollars. And so it's as simple as the name says. You're going to get in your car, you're going to cruise around the neighborhood, and you're just going to look for ugly houses. And so some things to look out for when you're driving down neighborhoods. Big key indicators of distress is going to be tall grass, big piles of mail on the front porch or busting out of the seams of the mailbox. So the house is probably vacant, broken glass or gutters hanging off, roof damage, all that kind of stuff. Like, what makes an ugly house, right? And so when I first got started, I would just use a pad of paper and a pen. And while I would drive, I would notice an ugly house. I'd pull over, jot down the address real quick, and then keep cruising. It's not super efficient, and you might get some angry drivers behind you honking their horn. And depending on if you're in a neighborhood, especially in an HOA type of neighborhood, you probably are going to get some weird looks from neighbors. They don't know what's going on. So a way that I kind of avoid that now, and what I like to do when I'm driving around, is just use a voice memo app. I've got an iPhone. I think Android has something very similar. So it's just an easy click button. Hey, 123 Main Street. It's got some broken glass and it has a bunch of mail on the front porch. Give them a call. Click it off, keep driving. So I don't have to take my eyes off the road. I can just grab the address, log it, and then when I get back to the office, I can skip trace that lead and then give them a call, shoot them a text, send them mail, however you want to get in contact with those sellers. But it's super easy. You can go specifically out in the car and drive for hours, just up and down every side street that you see in your neighborhood, or just take a couple minutes and add it into your normal daily routine. If you're going to work, if you're going to the grocery store, the gym, wherever, you can just take a couple side streets that you've never been down before, and you might find 1, 2, 3 different leads that you can call that can turn into $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. And so it's super effective, totally free. Really the only thing that you're spending money on is your gas. And so it's nominal, but it's a great strategy and highly effective. And another benefit of driving for dollars is you can actually find potential buyers. If you're trying to wholesale these deals, one thing to look out for is a dumpster in a driveway, or you see some contractors actively working on a project. That's a great opportunity to pull over, go introduce yourself, and specifically ask if the owner of the property is on site. That's probably going to be the flipper that bought the house. And so you can make an introduction with them, introduce yourself, kind of find out what criteria they're looking for, if they're still buying in that area. And then if you find another opportunity right up the road, you know exactly who to sell it to. And so it just makes your life way easier, and it costs no money at all. And so it's awesome. I love driving for dollars. Closed a bunch of deals that way. And I don't care how big your business is. It's super effective and really easy to implement. So driving for dollars is definitely number 1. Number 2 is Preforeclosures. And so there's a bunch of different sites that you can find this data. I like to use auction.com. Zillow also provides foreclosure leads. And then in a higher level software that's still free is PropWire. Shout out to Jerry Norton. And you can pull those lists to figure out when a house is going up for auction. These folks are 90 days plus overdue on their mortgage. And so now the lender is foreclosing and going to sell the property at auction. And so these people are highly motivated to figure out something so they don't lose their house for nothing, right? And have a massive black mark on their credit for the next 10 years. And so we're able to provide a ton of value to these sellers and also get really good deals. And so I'll go on auction.com. I'll search my area. For me, I'm in Wake County, North Carolina. I'll just type in Wake County. It'll pull up all of the upcoming auction dates, find those houses, put them into a list. I can skip trace them, give them a call. For me, I find that pre-foreclosures, the most effective way to get in touch with them is to go and actually knock on their door. And so I'll load all of those addresses into Google Maps, build out the route so it's the most efficient. So I'm not driving from one side of the county to the other to look at these houses. I can make just a streamlined, effective, and efficient way to go and talk to these people. Just knock on their door, let them know, hey, my name's Adam. I'm a local real estate investor. I saw that you're having an issue with the bank, and I'd love to provide some solutions to you. And maybe in a future video, I'll kind of break down the script that I like to use for pre-foreclosures, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to help people and solve their problem. And that might mean that they can keep their house. But most oftentimes when people are in this type of situation, there's just no way that they're going to be able to save it. And so if we can buy it cash or creatively and get them out of their situation, put a little bit of money in their pocket and save their credit from having a foreclosure on it, then it's a win-win for everybody. And so that's a great strategy, totally free. And we've gotten some of our biggest deals from the foreclosure list. So love that list. Number 3 is code violations. Similar, but not as motivated as a pre-foreclosure, are code violations. And so this is totally free. Most county websites will track this information, and it's a running list that's always changing, and new things are being added and some things are being dropped. You can just type in code enforcement, Raleigh, North Carolina, code enforcement, Knoxville, Tennessee, wherever you're going or marketing in. You can find it online, pull that list, and start calling, texting, mailing, same as all these other lists. But they're a great source of potential leads to buy those houses. And so I like code violations a lot. It might take a little bit of getting used to as far as how to navigate your local municipality's website. Some of them are kind of clunky, but all the data is readily available. And if anything, if you can't figure it out, you can always call. It is a government agency, and they'll at least point you in the right direction to get that information. And so number 4 is direct to agent, building relationships with real estate agents. You can either just call them up out of the blue, not talk about a specific property, and just say, hey, my name's Adam. I'm a local real estate investor. I'm looking for properties that need a little bit of love that I can add value to. I'd love to work with you. If you have anything that you're working on currently or something that's coming to market, I'd love to make a cash offer and make it a win-win for everybody. Those work sometimes, but at least in our market, cash deals are hard to come by on the market. And so what I focus on with agents is long days on market. And those are typically going to be low equity deals. And so we can acquire those via subject to. And so we'll just give the agent a call, tell them if we're able to come in at the asking price of the seller and able to pay the agent's commissions on the seller's behalf. Do you think they would be open to a creative solution? Just kind of walk them through the process of what subject to looks like, lock that deal up under contract, and I can either keep it as a rental property if there is potential for equity, which most of these don't have it, but some do, and maybe I flip that property, or I can just wholesale those terms that I lay out with the seller and wholesale those right to another investor that wants to hold it for their portfolio. And so it doesn't cost any money. We're just building relationships. And the beauty of going direct to agent is that once you close a deal and the agent can trust you, that you can perform and do what you say you can do, they're going to be a never-ending lead supplier for you, because they know if they send you a deal, you can get them paid. And so it's a win-win for everybody involved. So I like agent interactions a lot. There's a lot of back and forth and educating the agent. Like I said, most times these are going to be subject to offers. And so a lot of agents don't understand that strategy or how it works. And so there's a lot of copy and paste of the same conversation, educating these agents. But once you get them on board, once they understand that it's a viable solution for all parties involved, me as the investor, the real estate agent, and the seller, to get them out of their situation, then it's awesome. And I mean, I think we have 5 or 6 deals in escrow right now doing that exact same strategy. Cost no money. I think I was on the phone for maybe 30 minutes total with these 5 different agents, and we were the best option for them. And so it's really easy right now in the current market. And we get to take over these great low interest loans that maybe they don't have equity per se, but they can still cash flow, or they're great opportunities to sell them to homestead buyers that can't get traditional financing, and we can still monetize in the middle. So agent relationships, huge, love it. Fifth, and I think the most slept on of the free strategies, is networking. And so obviously social media, everybody's on it. And so just being loud and letting people know that, hey, I buy houses. I'm looking for houses in this area that need some love. If you can send me some referrals, I'd be happy to pay you a finder's fee. I typically offer $1,500 for any lead that somebody sends me that I'm able to close. And I basically build that into my assignment fee. Or if it's something that I'm going to buy myself, that's super cheap for me to acquire a deal for $1,500. And so social media is huge. You can be on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, all the other things, just letting people know, hey, I buy houses, send me your leads. Outside of social media, just networking events, whether it be real estate meetups with other investors, real estate agents, loan officers, all that good stuff, just getting in front of people that are already in the industry. They're going to refer leads to you as you build relationships with them. But for me specifically, networking events are huge in adjacent industries. So we do a lot of business in the senior living space. And so building relationships with assisted living directors, in-home healthcare professionals, downsizing agents, which are specific moving companies that work with seniors and are around these folks that can no longer live in their home. It's just either it's not safe or they need too much care and it costs too much to keep them in home with just the healthcare cost, is that they need to sell their house to be able to transition into an assisted living facility. And most oftentimes these houses are not ready for the market, and a traditional sale is just going to take too long and probably cost them a lot of money to clean the property out. And so we can come in, offer them cash, close quickly, provide solution to them on that side, and we can get awesome deals. And so we've closed 3 deals using this specific strategy from one 30-minute conversation, and we've made a total of $45,000. So ROI is pretty awesome. And there's plenty of other networking events outside of senior living, but BNI, Business Networking International, joining your local chamber of commerce, and just networking with other business owners that can refer you opportunities that just come across from their client base is awesome. And I think that's definitely a slept on strategy that not a lot of people talk about. And so I want to keep this short and sweet, but these are my top 5 favorite free strategies to find leads. Leave a comment down below on what one's your favorite. If any of these were of value to you, I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and until the next one, I'll catch you later. Peace.